leprechaun, echelon rapping. Blessed with the flows and the methods y'all lacking. Y'all be tryna dumb it down, lesson y'all rapping. Me, I'm out here flipping flows like an ethanol package. I'ma make it happen, I don't gotta ride. All my with it, they ain't letting slide. Eye for an eye, use the third eye anyway.
Right, give me a little second, family. Let me pause that. Hold on. And we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT in the house. Hope all is doing well with the fam. All right. We got my man Kevin Johnson checking in the building. What up? What's good, Chef Kevin? What up, Kevin Romes? We got two Kevins in the building. What's good? What's good, man? Hope all is well with the family. I know I haven't been alive in quite some time, but we in here. And I also got my StreamYard logo up on here. Okay. What's going on with that? But yeah, we in here, man. What's up, Afro Society? He says, yeah. What's good? What's good, family? Let me close this door real quick so we can chop it up with the fam. All right. Let's see who's all tapped up in here. What's good? What's good, family? We up in here, man. We up in here. So we say, oh, BMT is a dad. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. BMT is officially a dad. But we'll get to that in a moment. We will get that in a moment. I need to get my light right. Let me get my light together real quick, family. Hold on. It's a little bit better. All right. So my man Bishop NYC 23 says, congrats on the new bundle of joy. Salute. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You know, I actually had a show scheduled that night that my wife went into labor. All right. And we had our beautiful daughter. I have a baby girl, a little princess. So I'm very excited, very happy about that. But I actually had a show scheduled on the 18th. All right, I think it's like last week. The baby's like about a week old now. And my wife went into labor. She got me up at probably about 2 a.m. in the morning. And we had to go to the hospital. Now, I'm explaining the hospital experience for you guys. It's very interesting here in Thailand. I'm borking out a little bit. Hold on, let me get why am I borking? I'm hooked up to the landline. Hold on. You know, when you ain't streaming a while, man, everything just be off for some reason. Hold on, let me see what's going on with my stream. Why am I boring now? I'm hooked up right to the router. So much to take a picture every day. Yes, for sure, man. But yeah, I'm gonna break down the hospital experience and everything like that. Oh, I was the wrong one. Hold on. All right, here we go. Appreciate it. Congratulations. And I also want to thank everybody that's been congratulating me also on social media, on the Instagram, and also it's Facebook. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. First time dad in my early 40s. All right. But I'm ready. You know, I got a good wife. So that makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. All right. But I also appreciate all the congratulations. All right. Appreciate the Dead No Music. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Like I said before, I actually had a show scheduled on that day that my wife went into labor on the 18th. And we was actually going to go to a private hospital, but as you guys know, there is a gas shortage out here in Thailand currently. I don't know exactly how that's affecting, you know, people flying in or flying out per se, but I know there's been a gas shortage out here. It hasn't been too bad, but the private hospital was a little far away, and the public hospital was like literally walking distance from the house. So we ended up going to a public hospital, which is interesting. Man. It's very interesting. We're going to talk about that in a minute once more people pile up in the room. All right. We're going to talk about the hospital experience here in Thailand. That was my first time actually going to a hospital. No, not my first time going to the hospital, because of course we went to a couple of hospitals. Actually, we went to clinics. We went to like a hospital or two just to check them out while my wife was pregnant. Hold on, let me get. It said BMT, congrats on the birthing of your child. Shout out to WS Secrets to Success vlog. All right, did we do a show? I'm kind of remember, brother. The word on the streets is they didn't think you had it in you, pimping. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, my face a little swollen, actually. All right. Maxine Frazier says, congratulations. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. Um, and that's all you hope for, is a good delivery, healthy wife, healthy baby, everything like that. So prayed about it and all that good stuff. Everything turned out excellent. Everything turned out well. So in Thailand, um, you're not allowed in the delivery room. It's not like America where you can kind of go in and be with your wife and everything, hold her hand while she's in labor. They don't allow men. I don't think they allow any relatives, but I'm pretty sure they don't allow men in the actual delivery room. She's just going to be there with the nurses. All right. So that was an experience in itself. I'm with a bunch of men right outside of the delivery room as she goes into labor. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that as well. Funny thing, interesting thing, I saw a couple of brothers out there. It was a couple of brothers in the hospital alongside me. So, that's interesting right there in itself. A couple of brothers out there, sprinkled in. A couple of brothers having babies out here in Thailand. So, hey, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it, man. And a lot of little curly hair, little Tiger Wood babies coming out of here. Okay. Appreciate the congrats, man. Appreciate the congratulations. Now, before I get to the live, man, I want to talk about Cambodia. I was in Cambodia, like about maybe about 2, almost going on 3 weeks ago. And if you do decide to go to Cambodia, and this can happen anywhere. This can happen anywhere. But this might have happened in Thailand. I'm not sure. But if you use the ATM or you're using your debit card, make sure you're checking your balances, guys, because my debit card was compromised. A friend of mine debit card was compromised, and I'm pretty sure it happened in Cambodia. So just keep that in mind when you're out here, doing transactions overseas and everything like that. That's probably why I noticed the logo is up on the top of the screen, because I had to cancel a card. All right. So just keep that in mind when you're moving and shaking around. I suggest using like a Wise debit card or something like that. They don't have Apple Pay available everywhere in Southeast Asia. So I definitely, preset amount on a Wise card just to be safe. All right. Somebody says take a picture every day. They change so fast that first month. Yeah, she's growing. She came out 7 pounds, 2 ounces. We got 42 in the room, guys. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button for your guy. We up in here. It's not going to be a long show. I got to get back to daddy baby duty soon, give my wife a little break. But I just want to kind of touch basics. I know I've done a stream in quite some time. And I want to tell you guys, like I said before, about the hospital experience. Because some of you guys might, have one in the oven, or you might be thinking about having a baby here in Thailand. Like I said, you got 2 different types of hospitals you can go to. You can opt for the private hospital, or you can opt for the public hospital as well. All right. So my wife is a university teacher, so she works for the government. So the public hospital is, everything is very reasonable at discount for her. All right, my man said, congratulations on not getting stuck with the Shaquitas and slow Keishas and baby mama. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna mention his name, but one of my mans hit me with that exact message. He hit me with the exact message. All right, that was very funny because he was married briefly, not very long at all, and he hit me with that exact message. All right. Appreciate that, Aaron Davis. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Aaron Davies, 5733. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, like I said before, I know some of you guys might either have, be thinking about having a baby here. So if you got any questions, I can answer your questions. This is definitely a new experience for me. Yeah, I would say, it is different. It's definitely different. The public hospital has no, what they call it? Not universal AC, but it's like no AC up in there. It's hot as grease up here in Thailand right now. They got like the big fans and everything, but for the most part, it might be even cooler outside. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Like I said, you can opt for the private hospital, but with the gas shortage, the private hospital it just wasn't logical to be driving almost 35, 45 minutes. And then, when you have a newborn, you got to go back and forth to the hospital to get, shots, get blood drawn. So with a gas shortage out here in Thailand, it's just not logical. You got a hospital like pretty much walking distance away from you. But that might not be the case for some of you guys. I know some of you guys want, more of a private experience. So, they definitely have that here. Very good. Even the public hospital is pretty nice. It reminds me of like Grady Hospital in Atlanta, something like that. So it's not like just too far off. It's a little couple of dust in the corners and everything like that. But all in all, the services was decent. It was good. It was doable. Some of the nurses, they just kind of, when it's a public hospital, and, it's just everybody's kind of just keeping it moving. All right. Yeah. I really want you guys to keep that in mind too, because this actually is I want to say the fourth time this has happened to me within 5 years. I think I've been overseas about 6 years, but this is like the fourth time this has happened to me. All right. With the ATM skimming. So just keep that in mind. Check your balances, have your notifications that every time you use your debit card, you get an activity pin, and have like a preset amount on like a Wise debit card or something like that too. All right. Because they will hit you. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly. I know my boy got hit too. And then it's really hard to kind of like, trace the transaction and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. He says overseas is bad with ATM skimming and tax. Don't use a debit card, use credit card. If there's fraud, it's quickly identify it and rectify. Exactly. PCI DSS, most overseas banks are lacking the edge security strategies, aka multi-factor authentication options. Right. Especially if you're in Medellin. I think I got hit twice in Medellin, Ashley. They hit you hard in Medellin too. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate the love. Appreciate that. Josh35 says congrats. I appreciate that. But back to like I was saying before, they pretty much keep it moving. It was nice. Now, if you're having a baby, just keep in mind, you're having a mixed baby. Most of you guys are brothers in the chat. And, that's going to draw a lot of attention. A lot of people they don't touch the baby or anything like that, but you got a lot of people in the, looking up, they want to see how the baby looks because you're Black. You're having a mixed child, the nurses and everything like that. So they all kind of enamored by, the mixed baby element here as well. So just keep that in mind. Everybody's going to want to see your baby. All right. Appreciate that. All right. But like I said before, I wasn't the only brother up in there now. Don't get it twisted. I was not the only brother up in there, man. It was a couple of bros up in there. Man. Couple of bros up in there having babies. Older bros is that too. Older bros is that, man. But all in all, the hospital was pretty decent experience. Like I said, it wasn't bad. If I had to do it again, I mean, you could definitely go to a public hospital to get, anything that you need here. Like I said, I probably would opt for a private. If it wasn't for the gas shortage, I probably would have opted for the private hospital personally, just because of sanitary reasons and stuff like that. But like I said before, there's definitely a gas shortage right now. If you're driving, because I have a car here, but if you're driving, You will be, waiting to get gas and fuel. I think people might be panicking, even though the prime minister said they got the reserves, everything like that. But just keep in mind that, I think they're rationing the fuel right now to 1,000 baht, which is about $30, which in most cases should probably fill up your tank. But like I said, until this war is over with, everybody's kind of rationing out. And I think they're going to, and I don't know how it's going to work with immigration. I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't really looked deep into it. If you guys might be on the way to Thailand, but I'm pretty sure, because my wife told me that they're going to be sending a lot of government workers to work from home. So I'm not sure how that's going to work as well to ration out even more fuel until this war is over with, basically. I got the first super chat, man. Shout out to my man, Kevin Johnson. Appreciate the pepper money, brother. Appreciate that. All right, with the $5 super chat. Like I say, any questions that you guys might ask? I know you guys looking for possibly relationships, starting families yourself here in Thailand. So if you have any questions, like I said, luckily I had a guy. It's funny how things work out. And I'm going to read super chat in a moment. But it's funny because I gave her brother a consultation a couple of years ago. And he had his daughter maybe like 3 to 4 months before my daughter was born. And it's just funny how it goes full circle. He's giving me all this information, and it really helped. Like him telling me that, hey, they don't allow family members in the delivery rooms with the woman. So that kind of helped me. And he just kind of walked me through everything. So I want to say, appreciate that, Tommy. Appreciate that, man. Anyway, congratulations on your little princess, BMT. I'm not in the daddy club yet, but who knows? Next time might be the choice. Listen, fellas, it was guys, I'm talking about 50, 60s in their firstborn child. All right. It was a couple guys in there. It was a white guy in there. It was his first baby. I think he said he was like around, he can tell me his age, but he probably mid 50s. I got another friend of mine who just recently had a son. He's about 62, his first baby out here in Thailand. And like I said before, we went to the hospital yesterday. We was in the pediatric clinic and everything in the hospital. I saw another older brother. That brother had to be in his 60s. I don't know if it was his first, but, dudes is having babies. You're never too old to be a father. I remember old school telling me that. You're never too old to be a dad. You're never too. And the good thing about being an older dad, man, is because you kind of lived your life. You know what I mean? Especially me. You kind of had your experiences. I think you're a little bit more patient. Kids are a lot. My daughter gets up random times at night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, wine, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to be patient, especially with newborn babies. But it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful experience, man. It's something that comes over you, especially when a baby is born healthy and the wife, is healthy and everything, no complications. It's a certain happiness that definitely flows through your spirit when you bred a child. You brought a life into this world, man. And that's what it's all about. And this is the thing, I'm seeing, guys have children, start families. It is so important, man, to validate who you decide to create life with. It's like really important to validate that woman, man, because, having kids, raising kids, is a unselfish act. And in these days and age, a lot of women are selfish. A lot of guys are selfish as well. But you just want to make sure you pick that right partner to, team up with to have that child. And lucky for me, blessed to me, I have a good wife to, raise my daughter. Because of course, having a girl, that's a lot of chaos. And you definitely want to give her the ism, as my homeboy said. Shout out to my homeboy Zoo. He's like, man, make sure you give her that ism and everything like that. So yeah, man, just pick the right one. Pick the right one. I was patient. A lot of people, even my family, thought I couldn't have kids, everything like that. But I just, I didn't want to, I don't want any children with the women that I dated in the States. I'm going to be brutally honest here. I just didn't. Even if I was in a relationship and I had a couple of pregnancy scares like we all did back in the day. in college, and then, maybe about 5, 6 years ago, that little pregnancy scare as well. But it was always like, man, I just don't know. No. I didn't want to be a baby daddy or anything like that. I wanted to actually raise my kids. I had a neighbor of mine. We were real cool, and he was about 38 at the time. And I remember him saying that he just wanted to have a baby. He was like, man, I just want a baby. So he got some random chick pregnant. All right. She was in a relationship. She was cheating on her dude. I think it was her husband or something. He got her pregnant. Of course, the baby started getting older. The baby was like high yellow. The dad was dark skinned. The mom was dark skinned. So he knew the baby wasn't his. And then she threw my man's on child support and altered his whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't travel no more, anything like that. On the flip side, another situation, I had a friend of mine. I won't say a friend, I say an associate, down there in Medellin. Got a American woman pregnant. She got back to the States, threw him on child support. He hasn't traveled since. He's paying like $800 a month child support. He can't afford to travel. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. Now, that being said, I did see some situations out in the maternity ward. I could tell some guys had certain types of chicks pregnant as well. So that's still here. It was funny because you could tell the chicks with the black baby dads or the black husbands. Do you call it maternity ward? I don't know if you call it a maternity ward, but they had the body style that the brothers like. If I can just say that, I'm a married man, so I keep it clean now. But they had the body style that the brothers like, and they had the little boys, the little curly haired Tiger Woods boys and everything like that. So, hey, guys, having babysitters, congrats from Guam. Am I coming through clear, bro? Is my stream a little laggy? And like I say, my bad, Kevin just said I don't want children with American women either. I'm never going to discount all American women. I don't really necessarily generalize like that because I know there's some good ones out there. But from my experience, and keep in mind, I was a victim of paternity fraud as well. So that might have had something to do with it. The baby was 99.9, not mine. So I had that experience as well. So, from my experiences, I didn't want any children with any of the women that I was in relationships or dated in the States. From my experience, I'm not saying that there's no good women out there that you can't bear children with, but from my experience, no. Somebody said, of course, she's pregnant, but a light-skinned dude, not a mistake. Yeah, man. My face is swollen, man. I've been a little sick lately, going in and out the hospital. So my face is real swollen right now. If y'all wonder why, I got swollen up and my speech is a little impaired just a tad bit. Change for the Better says, I'm just not tuning in. I'm proud of you, man. This is what True Passport Spirit is. So the original title for this stream, and I'm going to do another stream. About this. I got streams lined up all week long, guys. But the original title, and I might do this again. I said I'm a little under the weather right now. But it was, what's the Passport Bros end game? What's the ultimate end game for Passport Bros? All right. Excuse me. And I would say that marriage and starting a family, despite what the type of stereotypes that people try to put on the Passport Bros to sway guys from not enjoying the Passport Bros experience or not, researching the Passport Bros thoroughly. Guys are having families, man. Guys getting married, all right? Brothers is having families, even in some cases older brothers like myself in their 40s and everything like that. That's the ultimate end game in my opinion. It's only so long. And it's funny because I still be talking to some of my younger guys, shout out to my young cats. And they like, oh, I don't ever want to get married, I never want to have kids. I said, I get that, but things change, right? And if you as you get older, as you slow down a bit, because you will slow down, All right. I can't drink worth a damn no more. Your metabolism slow down. You slow down. You go to the club, you ready to be home at 12. You know what I'm saying? So, like you slow down a little bit, man. And, having a family, getting married, having a baby, that's just the natural progression in life if you find the right woman. Because if you find the right woman, she might want that. She might want that. She might want a family. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And like I said, you're never too old to be a father. I know guys, 50s, first baby. All right, 60s, maybe first baby. So you're never too old to be a dad. He said, now literally all the faces of passport bros are married. People can no longer pretend they don't see it. They will pretend, man. They will definitely pretend. Matter of fact, let me put this. I want to post this link in the app. Hold on. I mean in the chat real quick. We just revamped the Passport Bros website as well. All right. Let me pull this up. And you guys are welcome to check out the website. All right. Check out the website. Hold on. Shout out to my ATLs in the building. Let me read that again real quick so I get the other comments. So now that all the faces of Passport Bros are married, people can no longer pretend they don't see it, but they will. They will pretend that they don't see it. They will definitely pretend. My man said, yo, could have been a Boulder Crest Pookie. All right. Shout out to my man. He's definitely from the ATL if you know about Boulder Crest. All right. All right. It's funny, man, because, and I'm going to do a whole show on this. Like I said before, I'm just kind of just tapping in with the family because I haven't done it live in a minute. But I'm going to do a show breaking down the Netflix documentary or hit piece about the manosphere. All right. That'll be my next show. And I'm mentioning this because, like I said before, I've been mentioning doing a documentary on the Passport Bros for a long time. We're going to have to put that in motion because they always try to false frame the Passport Bros. It's been a narrative. But I was reached out to. I don't never mention the publication, all right, when they reach out to me. But this was a pretty big publication. And there's always a woman that reaches out, too. It's never a guy. It's always a woman that reaches out. But they reached out to me to interview me about the Passport Bros. And it's funny because, a friend of mine that I did some content with, he kind of did the introduction a little bit. And just in the introduction alone, she was talking about losers back home. It's a certain language that she was using. And this is why I always kind of decline interviews by these production houses and these media labels and everything like that. And they're pretty big. You saw, Vice. They wanted me to be in the Vice one. This is another big outlet, but they always got a false frame Passport Bros. They never mentioned, guys getting married, having children, starting a family. They'll never mention that. They'll never mention that. So we gotta really work on that. I'm gonna put something together. I'm gonna put a trailer together, man, and we gotta put something out. It doesn't have to be on Netflix necessarily, but we gotta speak the truth because we are already kind of out there in the media. Passport Bros is in the dictionary right now, and they false framed it a lot, right, through the media because for some reason people get triggered when guys start traveling overseas and starting families, stuff like that, and dating, traditional dating. So we're gonna definitely discuss that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna research that. It said BMT has another the man Frisky. I don't know why nobody talked about that. Listen, the Netflix mockumentary or documentary or the hit piece, I like to call it. To me, that was a skit. That was a skit in itself. Oh, okay. So guys, funny story. Somebody asked me, do I take any supplements? You know what's funny, man? I take Tonkat Ali. I take vitamin D, and I take zinc. What else I take? My wife be having me take all these damn supplements. What else do I take? I can't even pronounce the other stuff I take because it's like, it's Thai, but there's some other stuff. But be careful with that Tonkat Ali, okay? I'm not going to mention my man's name, but I put my man in on the Tonkat Ali. The doctor said that his sperm count was low. So, he's, doing this thing in said country. He's doing this thing, and boom, he has a baby. He has a baby because he assumed that his sperm count was going to remain low because he's an older gentleman. But I told him that Tonkat Ali, a lot of Asian men take it, and it boosts up your testosterone and it boosts up your sperm count. So now in his 60s, he got a little baby boy, a little Tiger Woods out here. So keep that in mind, taking Tonkat Ali, bro. What's good, man? What's good? We've been out here for about 30 minutes. All right. But yeah, you get older, you got to be on your supplement game a little bit. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather right now, but I definitely take my supplements. As a matter of fact, I just took some this morning. But like I said before, be careful of that Tonkat Ali. If I don't know what Tonkat Ali is, you can get it on Amazon. I don't have my bottle around me right now, but you won't be shooting blanks. Let me tell you that if you take that. My man said, well, I'm already bald, brother. I don't got no hair on the corners, no way. Take a DHC suppressant supplement. If you take Tonkat Ali, you can make your hair thin on the corners. Cayenne pepper in the morning, think later. Cayenne pepper and lemon. Is that what you're talking about? All right, I'll put it in see, I put a lot of brothers on this. Y'all be going ham. But be careful with the stronger version, because I know one of my guys was having issues taking Tonkat Ali. All right. I think he had already had pre-existing issues with his heart or something like that. But I know just check with your doctor. Make sure you read the directions and instructions with the Tonkat Ali. No, you can order Tonkat Ali on Amazon, brother. But they got Tonkat Ali everywhere in Southeast Asia. And they have one. So they have two different versions of Tonkat. You got the one that's going to boost your testosterone, and over time, as you take it a couple of times a week, you will start to feel like you're 16, 17 again, as far as your libido. You be on go mode. But then you got another form of Tonkat Ali. All right. I wish I had the little picture, but you got another form of it that's like Viagra. Okay. And it's like, it's even more than Viagra because you will release a lot. Not to get too graphic, right? And I put some of our boys on that in Brazil. They went stupid ham. But so you got a couple of versions of Tonkat. So for me, I would prefer the Tonkat and just kind of have you, boost your testosterone, have you feeling ready to go when you want to be ready to go, instead of the other one and this is small, the small pills of Tonkat, that's like Viagra. My man said that Tonkat Ali gave me nothing but headaches and raised my blood pressure. See, he didn't give me a headache. See, Viagra gives me a headache. I stopped taking it years ago. All right. Viagra gives me a migraine. Raise the blood, and it raises my blood. So, like I said before, maybe microdose, start out to see if it's for you. Because I had a friend of mine, shout out to my man, big white guy. He said it wasn't for him. All right. And one of my young cats said that he had to slow down taking Tonkat Ali. Yeah, I tried Macaroon too. Okay, hold on. We got another comment here. Salute BMT. Welcome to the Blasian Dad Collective. Mines are Thai American as well as Butter is from south of Bangkok. Kids are just getting up. I just got off a call checking on them. Yeah. I'll go check on my daughter in a minute. You know, it's a beautiful mix, man. It's a beautiful mix. Everybody loves, seeing the little blazing kids and stuff. They love that, man. They love that. My bottle is actually downstairs. It's actually empty. It's actually empty. It's probably my daughter. But I don't know if I can show it. My stream is a little laggy. Maybe I'll post it in the community tab after. But just go on Amazon and do Tonkat Ali. Tonkat Ali. My consultations are $75. $75, fam. My man said, I think it just reacts to people differently. It did just fine for me. Yeah, it does. It does. Like I said before, I take Tonkat 2-3 times a week max. Okay, I don't take it daily. I know my man was taking it because he was very active, doing his thing. So I think he started having little complications, nothing major, but I think he started having little complications because he's taking it too much. Then I had, my other homie, big white guy, he was having like complications with it as well. Because I put damn near everybody on Tonkat Ali. And so out of the probably hundreds of people that I put on, is a few guys have had complications. The races have won. I don't know what you mean by the races have won, bro. Yeah, appreciate that, Black Shareman 2271. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, brother. I ran to TaylorMade not too long ago. Matter of fact, he gave me some tips on having a daughter. Shout out to my man TaylorMade. He's doing good, man. He's lost weight. Looks good, brother. TaylorMade, if y'all wondering what sparked me to do all of this, it was actually TaylorMade at his 53rd or 55th, I don't know what it was, birthday party, yacht party. All right. And seeing older brothers enjoy themselves and have so much fun. And, even, it's important to kind of like have some form of mentorship. I have a business mentor as well, a life mentor. You got to hit them up every day. But when older guys speak, shut up and listen. All right. Even how I feel like I attracted my wife, right? I had my OG, shout out to my OG Mick. He was like, you attract what you are, bro. If you got a certain type of energy, you're not going to attract the right type of woman that you want to be married to. So before I met my wife, man, I slowed down a whole hell of a lot, bro. I wasn't going out. I was just going to the gym. I do my streams. I work on the app. I would say I kind of cleaned myself up a bit, and I was able to attract the same energy that I was putting out, right? So that helps as well. And I got that knowledge from my OG. Shout out to my OG Mick. He told me, he said, hey, man, your energy might be a little off. You're not going to attract the type of female that you really want. You got to kind of, stay out in them streets a little bit, and you'll attract, what you want to attract. It's a few different types of Tonkat Ali as far as brands is concerned. You know what, guys? Hold on. I'm gonna do you a solid. Let me see if I can, because I can't run downstairs right now and show I might throw my bottle away. Okay, they got a whole bunch of bullshit on here. What's all this? This is BS. Okay, I just want to pull up. All right, they got a whole bunch of BS on here, man. See, so many people started Tonkat Ali brands. I don't even see the one that I take. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Tonkat Ali. What's the name? Okay, this is what I did. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I got it. Now let me pull this up on the screen. Well, will they let me show this? Hold on. Oh, my baby crying. I'm about to go in a minute, but let me just leave y'all with this. All right. Excuse me. That's the one I take right there, family. This one right here. All right. It's not the super strong kind, but yeah, this is the one I take. A couple times. See, I haven't took the The extreme might be the one that is like more like Viagra. I wish they had the ones I put my boys on. They got this in the DR too. I think I took some of that in the DR. It's one that's really strong. Is it that one? Hold on. I gotta go, family. My little baby crying, so get a wifey a break. She was up with her all night. But no worries. I tune back in with the family. Yeah, Macaroon. I took Macaroon. Macaroon didn't have no effect on me, bro. Macaroon didn't really work for me like that. All right. You know, wholesome as hell. This is why they don't want to report on why Passport, bro. On with Passport, bro, they got that coin. It was successful live abroad, married with child. Okay, this is what they don't want to report. This is what they won't report on with Passport Bros. The guy that coined it has successfully lived abroad, married with child. Yeah. Yeah, I'm married, fam. I got married 3 months ago. So that's another question. Does having a child there guarantee citizenship? You can never get citizenship in Thailand. Okay, you will always be on a visa. This is Southeast Asia. It's a lot of things now. They say you can do certain things. Listen, I go by what my wife tells me, and the laws of the land. I know they got all types of little stuff you can finesse, but I ain't with all that. So you can't be a citizenship, but you can get what they call a guardianship visa, so you can stay here indefinitely, so you can raise your kid. So they do have that. All right. But yeah, let me go, guys. Like I said, I want to tap in for a moment. All right. No worries. I'm going to be live the rest of the week. We got a lot of shows that I want to talk about as well. Guys, make sure, hold on, let me post that one more time, to hit up the new website. This is the official Passport Bros website, by the way. Not the other little knockoff. They got a whole bunch of knockoff Passport Bros websites. Check out the Passport Bros website as well. And if you haven't subbed to the newsletter, you can stay tapped into the newsletter. I write different articles all month long. You can tap in with the articles as well. All right. Peace. We out.